You're not a very cuddly cat, are you? So yes, just knocking everything off my table. Hello, welcome to episode 44 of that RowRow Kades podcast. My name is Kelly, also known as RowRow Kades, and you can find me on Instagram and YouTube. Welcome to all the new people again. There is lots of you. The Northeast Yarn Show video did a lot better than I expected it to, and a few of you found me from there. So hello, welcome. This is a regular podcast that I normally do. I have some housekeeping up front. So if you're a regular viewer, this may be a bit of deja vu, but you may be able to hear some scuffling and banging and scurrying around. That is because I have a new menace in my house. She's actually been a bit wild. 1 second. So very quickly I'm going to show you that this is Fion. Is it hello Fion? Oh, she kind of waves. Yes, she's a bit wild. She's been playing with a toilet roll. She's here. This is what she wants. The inside of the toilet roll. Fion is 9 weeks old now. Yes. I'm going to put her down because she just wants to play. We already have 2 cats in our house. Last year we had Lenny, which is why it's a bit of deja vu for regular viewers. And I had to introduce him because he was scurrying around under my table. And that's what's going to happen today. So we have Mr. Pickle, who is, I'll see if I can put some pictures up. So Mr. Pickle is a tuxedo cat. He's like black with white bits. And then we have Lenny, who is, his mum was a Russian blue, and I don't know what his dad was, and he's just like this stripy thing that looks like he's been eating beans. He's got like dots of orange around his mouth, his white mouth. And I was content. We already have a dog, a big dog called Sansa, who, if you watched last episode, you will know what she sounds like. I'll put a picture of Sansa as well. And then we have a gerbil. Just have a gerbil. She's quiet enough. No, not on the wire. No, not on the wires. Get off the wires. So I was quite content with the collection of animal life that we have in the house. But my partner Terry has always wanted an all grey kitten, and he's seen her advertised and got his princess skirts in a ruffle, and that was it. So we had to get Fion. So he's named her, he's Welsh. Fion is one of his favourite names, which is also Welsh. And yeah, I have another interrupted podcast for you. But she's cute, so we'll put up with her for now. She wakes up and chooses violence every morning, though, I have to say. She's very aggressive. She's not the cuddliest of cats. She just likes to fight. So hopefully she grows out of that, because that's not going to be nice when she's big. Anyway, back to the podcast. So I need to leave my wire up here somewhere. Right. So what I'm wearing. So you will have seen this before if you've been here before. This is my summer flirt tee by Karina. I don't know how you pronounce that. But I say Karina, but I apologise if it's incorrect. If anybody can correct me, please do in the comments, because I just don't know how you pronounce it. I've got something in my eye. I knitted this in 100% cotton, and it was the drop saffron in the mint colourway. In the mint colourway, I think it's mint. I really like it. It's a really lovely top. It sits nice. It's just, I extended the length. It's just a nice length. It's just a nice cool top. And I definitely recommend it if you like your lace work. I'll come close so you can see the lace in it. So if you like your lace work, I recommend. Right. So I have no finished objects this week. I've been working on some secret socks for a magazine. So they're finished and gone, but I can't show you them. So I've only got whips. I'm drinking out of my chipped daughter mug a cup of coffee because I currently need it. So what I've been working on, I have finished one of a pair, so I'll start with them. So, they're not in there. It's just the yarn in there. They're living in my Woolly Tangle sock bag, which I absolutely love. There's her label on the side. Yeah, I fell in love with that. I just think it's beautiful. Peacocks. They were living in here, so the yarn is in here. I'm gonna go and get the sock. Just a second. So this is my Teasel socks by Jane Burns. So these are cuff down sock, and they're lace work all over. They come in 2 sizes. I don't know how well you can see that lace pattern. You can see it relatively well there. Cover my face up. So they're cuff down. It's a heel flap and gusset, and a rounded toe. They're lace work all over. The lace is tricky. It's only charted, I think, or maybe it's written at the bottom actually. I followed the chart. I will write that on the screen. But it's a tricky lace work. It's not one you can really learn. I couldn't. I had to read the chart for the entire sock, so it's taken me ages because I kind of had to pick and choose when I work on it, where I'm watching something where I don't need to be looking at the screen all the time, or I'm just listening to an audiobook, because they are extensive. You've got to keep an eye on the chart. So I've really enjoyed making them, and I really do need to cast the second one on straight away because otherwise this will sit. But they're not an easy knit. I'm going to admit that they're not simple. Don't get me wrong, it's lace. It's a series of yarn overs, knit 2 togethers, SSKs. Like there's nothing extra in there, but it's not one that sinks in your brain. It's long, and it's quite a long repeat, and it doesn't go in, and it's not easy to read either. So yeah, but I've really enjoyed making them. I am knitting them in Skein in the Stitch, Tethis. So this was, she had a Titans collection last year, and this was really early on. I think it might have even been a January colour. So I'm not sure if you can still get this, but it's stunning. So it's a series of like, it kind of reminds me of like an army colour. It's like green, and it's got like dark browns and beiges, and then it goes quite light in parts. It's really, really beautiful, and it's sort of super soft and gorgeous. I love Jess's yarn. So yeah, so one down. These are from my Make 9. They were the first of my Make 9, and it's just taken me forever to get them done because, like I said, it was quite extensive. But I have one done. So one done, one to go. I'm knitting them on 2.5mm needle. I think these are my Knit Pro. I don't know. I think so. But the 2.5mm, which is a US 2.5, I want to say, or 2. Don't know, I'll put that on the screen as well. Sorry. I've got Theon watching me. You can't have this. Oh, and you can't have it. Oh my goodness me, everything's falling off. And she's going to attack it all. I didn't want a kitten. So yes, Tethis, no, not Tethis socks. Teasel socks, one down. I was going to cast, I finished them last night. I was going to cast the second one on last night and I was like, it's really late, so no. Will you stop? I'm so sorry. The other thing I've been working on, I promised, I have my Discord group, and in my Discord group we've been running a crochet along for the Batternberg blanket. I'll pop a picture of the Batternberg blanket on. And also, I just want to apologise for this being behind me, but it's what Fion's been sleeping on, just so she's got a bit of comfort and safety out the way of everything else. And I can't really move it because it might freak her out, so... Not that she gets freaked out by anything, she just batters everything. Anyway, Batternberg blanket, it's beautiful. I do not crochet, I can't crochet. But I've been trying to because I fell in love with the Batternberg blanket, and I also really want to make a granny striped blanket one day. So this is a tangled mess, what's going on? So I said that I would do the Batternberg blanket, and then I did like maybe 6 squares and then just stopped. And lovely Carla from Sew Knit Create Repeat, who is in my Discord, it was her idea to do the Batternberg blanket, and she's absolutely flown. If you watch a podcast, like her blanket, she's already done a granny square blanket and everything. She's a crocheter now, basically, and she's just flown it, and hers is looking gorgeous. But then she come into the Discord and she was like, where are the rest of yous? What are yous doing? and most of it had fallen behind. So I promised that I would do a square a day. And then I forgot because I went on holiday. And when I come back, Carla was like, you said you were going to do a square a day. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Carla. So I have been doing a square a day since then. And so I don't know how many I've actually done. But I'll show you what I've got. Every single one of them is a different size. My tension is awful with crochet. I just can't hold the yarn in my left hand. I've got a few now, look. Okay. So I've got a kind of big pile now. So these ones I definitely did before, because I haven't used that yarn since. Get in the bag. And you, sneaky. But the purple ones I've been doing, and then I went back to blue for a bit. Oh, so I've done a lot. Now I've probably had, how many of them have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, and I probably had the same amount of blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so this is what I've done over the last few days. Yeah, that's about right. Three blues. Yes, it's not too bad, is it? So they're all, these are the squares. That's actually quite a decent one for me. Yeah. They're all right. They're all a little bit different sizes, and like, I'm not even joking. Look at the size difference on them. But I'm hoping once they block in, they'll be alright. Oh, we can but dream, can't we? So what I need to do is, I'm making these in James C. Brett DK with Merino. And it's a load of excess yarn that I've got from when I used to do baby knits. I used to use that a lot. So I've got loads of different colours of it. And like loads of different colours. But I don't have a cream, so I'm going to buy a couple of balls, a JMC Brett in the cream, and then I'm going to start joining it up, and then it'll look a bit better then, instead of just being a pile of squares. But yeah, these are living in my Rosie's Moments bag, which I got at Yarndale last year. So it's like one of these with the, it's like a bucket bag, but it has this drawstring bit inside it that you can just tuck down, and then it's like a bucket bag. Doo-doo. It's really cool, and it was really inexpensive. So yeah, that is my crochet and Batternberg blanket. Look at me being a crocheter. I think Fionn might have calmed down now because she's gone to sit on the window ledge, and she tends to be sleeping on the window ledge. Oi! Although she keeps attacking my plant. Leave that alone. Didn't want a kitten. Oh, right. Next thing I've been working on, this has been my Friday night project. So those of you new here, on a Friday night is kind of like date night for me and my partner, but we don't go out or anything. We just stay in and we have a drink and watch something on the TV. For those of you interested, we are currently watching The Detectorists, which is a comedy by Mackenzie Crook and stars Mackenzie Crook, and it's about just guys going around doing metal detecting, but it's really fun. It's really funny. So that's what we're watching at the minute. We were watching our way through Star Wars, and we'd got to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and we did watch a couple of them, but we're finding it a little bit dark and heavy going. So we kind of took a little break from it and went to something a bit more light-hearted, and we'll go back to it in a bit. So my Friday night knit, because I need something that's quite relatively simple and I can just pick it up on the Friday and knit it, has been my V-back tee by Jamie Hoffman. So I'd only just really cast it on and done the rib last time you've seen, so I haven't done a massive amount because I'm only doing it on a Friday, and it's getting bigger and bigger with every other round gets bigger by 2, but every now and again you do like a swift increase and increase a load. So yeah, it needs to go on a new cable, but that's what it's looking at so far. This yarn is Cookston Crafts. I was going to say Mackenzie Crafts then, because I've just said Mackenzie Crook. Cookston Crafts. My brain. Cookston Crafts. And this is the Brianas gown colourway, which is from her Outlander collection. So it's like a cream with green and pink speckles in it. I also have, it's a three skein fade that I'm doing, and it's all Cookston Crafts. So my second colour is Rubus. And then my third colour is Claire Fraiser. I'm really looking forward to getting into Claire Fraiser. Sounds terrible, but I am. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about it really. It does take a little bit of concentration, especially when you've got an increase round, because it's not just straightforward increase every other stitch or whatever. You've got to do it one way and then another way and things like that, and you've got to count, which isn't always great on a Friday because I drink spiced rum and coke, and after the first I kind of lose my train of thought quite quickly when it comes to counting, but I seem to be doing all right. My stitch count is right. Becky, who watches the podcast, hi Becky, she asked how I got on with the cast on. So the cast on is an Italian cast on, which I'd never done before, and it kind of took me a couple of goes watching the video. She goes a little bit fast, I think, even at the beginning. But I watched it a couple of times and I was able to get my head around it. And then I was off. And then knitting on it is kind of weird because you don't have to worry about them being twisted because you wouldn't twist as you're knitting them. It's a strange cast on, but I do like it, and I like, it looks like a tubular cast on. I think it's the same thing. I'm not 100%, don't hold me to that. But yeah, can you see that cast on edge? It is a nice cast on. I would definitely use it again. Yeah, it leaves a nice edge. So you can see my V is coming in. Can you see that? You can see that the V is coming in, it's pulling, and it's not the most straightforward of knits. I'll give it that. And yeah, that cast on is a bit tricky. She tells you don't have to use that cast on, you can use a normal one, and what to do if you're using a normal one. But I do like to try new things, so I did give it a go. But yeah, so far so good. Hopefully it grows a bit more over the next couple of weeks before you see me again. And maybe even try and get that other colour in. I don't know, but we'll see. So this is living in my tea cake make. Am I every time? Is it tea cake and make? Yes, tea cake and make. I'm so sorry, Nicola. My tea cake and make bag, which is from Tea Cake and Make, funnily enough. It's my drawstring bag, which was gifted to me from lovely Nicola, and I love it. It's holding all them yarns in there and the jumper, and it's doing well. So yeah, gorgeous. So my next thing on the needles, if you remember last time, I was telling you that, hang on, I'd started on, where are you? There you are. So it started on the Volturi Palace socks. I keep calling them Volturi socks, but they're not. The Volturi Palace socks. So it started on these, and I've only done this little bit. So I began knitting with this yarn and then realised as I was knitting with it, I was like, that is incredibly soft. And then I looked into it and realised that it was 100% merino and not sock yarn. And that's not going to last 2 minutes with socks. So I decided that I couldn't go ahead and I needed another colour. So I went to the Northeast Yarn Show. I took my toe heel and cuff colour with me, and to try and colour match something. I was looking everywhere for something exactly the same as this. I also had it a little bit lighter in my head actually. I didn't think it was as dark as this. So that's interesting because I haven't seen it since. I thought I would save it to show you guys before I start again. So that's interesting that that's darker than I had in my head. Couldn't find anything exactly the same, which I'm not going to. Jess wasn't there, and you know, everyone's different. But I did end up picking up Haar by Nervous Fibre. I love Nervous Fibre. She is definitely up there in my favourites, and so yeah, I picked up this because I thought that they went quite well. This is Haar. Now with the orangey bits, it's very similar to what's that called? Oatmeal by Beehive Yarns, which I used for my Viola the Sands socks. That was a lot of names to pull out the bag. I need a pat on the back for that. It is very similar to that colourway, but I do like it. I do like them together. And if I put them up, so it is darker than Jess's that I originally had. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad, and I'm quite happy with how it goes with this greeny colour, greeny blue. So I'll be caking that up and getting on with them because I'm really excited to get going with them. I was really enjoying them, and then I had to, I didn't do much. I'm really enjoying them. I've done a tour. But I was enjoying them, and I had to stop. So yes, this is going to come out, and I think I'm going to do a Lone Skein shawl, not a Lone Ranger shawl, by Jorge Locatelli. Sorry Jorge if you're watching, I doubt that very much, but yeah, I called it a Lone Ranger shawl last week because I'm just tapped. The Lone Skein shawl, I think that's what I might do with this because it's too beautiful. I can't design with it because it's a Titan colourway, Iapetus, something like that. So it was like a club colourway, one of a kind. Not one of a kind, like, I don't think she does the colour anymore, basically. So, yes. So I think I can't design with it, so I think I'll just do like a one skein shawl, and that is literally called the Lone Skein shawl, which is a one skein shawl. So there we go, that is that plan for my Volturi Palace socks. They are living in my little bag that I brought home from holiday with its little pom-poms and its handle. I don't have a maker or anything, it was just from a souvenir shop from Salou. I have one more thing to show you, which is what I'm working on for the wool box. So I was telling you before that I'd been asked to design some patterns for a new online wool shop called the Wool Box. I did a hat and a cowl, which should be going, there should be the patterns that are free when you buy something from them. You should get those patterns. I don't know when, but I've also been asked to design some Christmas socks, and I've been knitting on them. So these are living in my new bag that I got from Northeast Yarn Show. This is by Bellica Yarns. I absolutely love this material so much. It's just so pretty. It really, really shouts at me. So here they are. So these are colour work socks, then toe up, and they're going to be knee length. Save me. And here they are. Oh, hang on. They're a little bit twisted, which will block out. So I've just done the heel. It's a Fleagle heel. They have the speckles on the sole too. They're knitted in West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply signature yarn, the bright red and the white. And they're going to be knee length, and they've got the rest of the seam going to be happening on the rest of the leg. It's just a winter seam on them. The toes are slightly deeper because the toe stops here, and then it's just like the snow on the bottom. Desperately need blocking. Yeah, they are knitted on my 2.75 needle. These are new, these needles. I can't remember what they're called. They're Knit Pro. I can't think what they're called. But they basically have a measurement every 2 centimetres on there. You might be able to see that, I'm not sure. But every stripe is an extra 2 centimetres, and then it even goes around on the cable. It dots. They have little dots every 2 centimetres on the cable, so you can measure things with them, which is pretty handy, to be fair. Yeah. So they are my colourwork socks, Christmas scene colourwork socks. They will be coming out around about Christmas time. I'm not 100% sure when. I haven't got dates, but as soon as I know, then I will let you guys know too. But obviously I'm still working on them, so not for a while. But there we go. So they're living in there, and that's it. That's all my whips. Yeah, I don't think I've got any more. I do have some acquisitions. Now I have acquisitions since I last seen you on this podcast from the Northeast Yarn Show, but I'm not going to get them all out again, purely because a lot of you have already seen the Northeast Yarn Show and I don't want to be boring repeating myself with more stuff. So if you're interested in seeing those acquisitions, you can watch that video. If you don't want to see the yarn show part, just skip to the end and you will see the acquisitions right at the end. But I have had some other acquisitions this week. I haven't had any yarn, have I? No. But I did buy some lovely stitch markers from Treble Maker Designs. I hadn't heard of her before, and then she popped up for me. I'm trying to get them all out. She popped up for me and I was like, oh, look at them. So I went off to buy some. So they've come today. I've just opened them and I'm going to admit they're a lot bigger than I expected them to be. I expected them to be like quarter of the size that they actually are. They are pretty big, but they're still cute and they'll still get used. It's just I don't really tend to use big stitch markers, so I was a bit thrown by the size. Especially the first one I opened was the lollipop and I was like, whoa. But I'm going to show you. This is the lollipop. So you can see by the size of my finger, like look, that's the length of my finger. So that's a long, big stitch marker. They're very, very light though. It's super, super lightweight. So it will get used. I was just like, whoa, that's big. I also got a little tray with an egg in it. I don't know why, I just liked it. Oh, there we go. It's like it's a 3D little tray with an egg in it again. Big. And then got a slice of toast. I'm a little bit sad about the toast because it's got a little bit of muck around it. He's a dirty face. But it can be my dirty face toast. That's okay. Again, size 4. Finger for size, I should say. And then finally I got just this little cute octopus because he's just lovely. There you go. He's super cute. So she did have a, I think it was 20% sale on, and I forgot to put my code in. And I just measured, I commented on her Instagram post and went, there was so many to choose from, and I got so like, ooh, which one can I have, that I forgot to put the 20% code in, ha ha. And she messaged me and said, pick something and I'll give you them. And I was like, no, it's fine, I'm not bothered about the 20%, it's fine. Because she's really cheap. She is super cheap. Like I think they were like £2 each, if not even that. Some of them were like £1. So I was like, honestly, it's fine. And she was like, no, I want to throw some, I'm going to put some stuff in. So I told her to just surprise me. So she did. And she put me in an extra lollipop and the sunshine. And she's put me in some stickers. So I've got a turtle sticker, a bear, and this. Which is very true. And this badge. Oh yeah, so this is my happy place. Now, I don't know how much of that is, how much you get thrown in anyway. Like the stickers might come in anyway, I don't know. I've never bought from her before. But, so, up front, I'm not 100% on how that works. But she's put me in loads of extra bits. So, God love her, that was really nice of her. So they are bigger than I expected. I'm not going to lie there. I expected them to be like this sort of size, and they're more like this. So I was a bit like, oh, they're a lot bigger. But they will get used. Oh, And I really do like them. I love my little octopus. I think he's my favourite. What do you reckon? So yeah, so that is Treble, what did I say? Treble Maker Designs. So look her up, because especially if you like big stitch markers, you're going to be having a whale of a time. But yeah, just be aware, if you don't like big stitch markers, they're not small. I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to tell you. Fion is now sleeping, now that I've finished. She's gone to sleep. She's an absolute tearaway. So I can move this now, I don't have to have the wire up there. Next week I will finally get my video out for what happened during the Stephen West sock MCAL. If you'd like to watch that, because I know I'm really late with it. And I'll be back the week after with another podcast, and the kids should be back in school then. Not gonna lie, that they're needing it. They're needing to be back in school, particularly my 7-year-old. He desperately needs to be back in school. He's just really bored. This afternoon, his friend is coming to sleep over. Why do I do this? He's never slept over before. He's never had a friend sleep over before. There used to be a boy in our street. He's moved out now, but he used to say that he would come and sleep over. My son Rowan had slept over at his house once, and this boy would say he was going to come and sleep over, and then it would get to like 9 o'clock when they were just getting settled down, and he would go, no, I'm going home, and he did it 3 times to him. So you would obviously be upset because he was looking forward to him staying. So yeah, I think we're all a little bit like, I hope this boy stays. I hope he's like, it's a different boy altogether. It's a boy from school. So that should be fun for Rowan. But yeah, there's not really much been going on. We had a day trip to Whitby, which is a fishing town on the northeast coast. And it was the boys' first time of going, because although I'm in the northeast, it's still like an hour and a half to get to Whitby, and it's roads like this. So yeah, it's like it's tiring. It's a tiring drive. You've got to think all the time. So I don't really go there very often at all, and the boys have never been before. So we took them over there, and Rowan absolutely loved crabbing. We were catching crabs with a bucket on a string, just throwing them over the side into the sea, and you put a little bit of bacon in the bottom of the bucket, in a bait bag in the bottom of the bucket, and the crabs like climb into the bucket to get to the bacon, and you pull them out. So we caught a fair few. We kept throwing them back in. We weren't keeping them for anything else, and there was a few other people doing it. And everyone we caught, I was getting a bit of bacon out of the bait bag and giving it to them in the bucket before we threw them back, so they earned their little excursion out of the sea. We caught a really old one that was covered in barnacles. It looked like he was building up his armour. Yeah, we had great fun. So yeah, did that, but we haven't really been going out and about that much because of the weather. The weather's been so horrible. Just muggy and pouring down with rain. It's really grey again today, so we haven't really been doing that much. So they've been bored, which is perfectly understandable. Normally we go out for days out and stuff throughout the 6 weeks holidays, and this one we did the holiday to Spain, and then that was pretty much it. We got home and just stayed in the house. So it's not been great. Couldn't even get the paddling pool out. Like nothing. My back garden looks like a wilderness because it's just so overgrown now with all the rain. You can't get it cut down. So yeah, shame, but it is coming to an end. They're going back to school in a couple of weeks. So that's it. That's all I've got to tell you really, because literally nothing going on. So I will see you. Yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next one. Episode 45. It's getting there, isn't it? We'll be having a giveaway before long. And do you want to come and say bye since you've woke up again? Want to say bye? Is this? What's this? Oh, that's nice. So bye from me and bye from Fionn. Oh, thank you. Are you giving me a wash? Cat purrs. No, claws again. Okay. You're not a very cuddly cat, are you? So yes. Just knocking everything off my table, so I'm going. I will see you in the next episode. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.